Okay, this is a quick video log of my dining room houseplants. We're looking right now at a Burl Marx philodendron. I've lost a couple branches due to physical damage on this one, and I'm hoping to grow it up the pillar as I move the light up. It keeps growing vertically, so that's good. I've got what used to be a huge golden pothos down here, but I had it on one of my upper plant shelves and it didn't get enough light and I forgot to water it, and quite a bit of it died back. And I'm gonna propagate the tendrils eventually here soon, and just replant them back up in the top of the pot, and hopefully I can get some nice fullness back. Poor thing, almost killed it. There's a Monstera borsigiana cutting from my mother plant that I planted outside, and I chose a horrible time to do that because it's 50 degrees out and raining, and I'm sure it's not very happy out there. This is a wart fern used in landscaping. It's pretty thirsty, likes a lot of water, but once I figured that out, it kind of bounced back. It's got these cool roots that pop out of your container, and they sprout leaves. So that should be an interesting looking plant. Here's one of my anthuriums. This is the giant chocolate. I haven't had this one very long. It was the only one that I could find, and it was damaged. I put some silver gel around the spots in case they were any kind of fungal or bacterial infection, and it stopped them. But of course the leaves of anthurium are long-lived and they're slow growing, so you just have to deal with the damage. Eventually she'll outgrow it. She's got some new chocolate leaves coming in down here. They're kind of small, but this is a new spathe that came out, and I guess that means she's pretty happy because it was not blooming. On the windowsill we've got a silver pothos and peperomia, obtusifolia. This silver, it's not really a pothos, but it's a synapsis, I think, or I'm not quite sure. But I started sticking it to the window and then it just went crazy, so it's growing everywhere. It's all over the place. Here's one of the few calatheas that I have. I find they get spider mites. This one had spider mites. I just showered it today. It's growing in spite of its infestation, so I have a problem with spider mites and calatheas in this house. I kill them. They die. This is where they come to die. Clearly, I don't do so great with ferns either. That's all I have left of my maidenhair fern, but it's hanging in there. It's been in the window hanging in for, I don't know, 8 months or so. And then over here is the other maidenhair fern that I have. And it's a hardier variety, but it looks terrible. Even, I mean, it's 65% humidity here all the time. It's usually between 70 and 80 degrees in the windowsill, and it still wants to die on me. The orbifolia that I have came kind of damaged, but even I'm having a hard time keeping it moist enough. I just repotted it this morning into some perlite coconut coir mix with a little bit of organic fertilizer, and we will see how she does. She wants to grow. She keeps putting up new leaves, but they're getting smaller and smaller instead of bigger and bigger, so we will see. What else do I have over here? Oh, there's another golden pothos cutting. It's lost a lot of its variegation because it doesn't get a lot of light in this window. That's all new growth up at the top. This is just a cutting that I had from a plant that I almost killed several years ago, and I got bits and pieces of it everywhere. Phalaenopsis orchid up here. Here's another anthurium. I'm not sure what cultivar it is. I think It had white spathes on it when I bought it, and it was actually flowering like profusely. But they died off, but the foliage is still very high. I love anthurium. I love the foliage. Just it's so glossy and heart shaped and beautiful, and the leaves are nice and leathery and thick. So I love them. Just like philodendrons. So I've got this guy down here. This is a Rojo Congo, I think. Used mostly outside in landscape because it's so large. It does have a damaged leaf here from me kicking it, so that's not good. The lancifolia I have down here has not had spider mites, so far so good. Puts out new leaves for me all the time, and hopefully it'll be a nice big plant in its maturity. Little bitty Peperomia prostrata. I've got quite a few peperomia. This was in bloom, but the blooms have faded off. It's got a little bit of oxalis growing in it from the nursery. I've just left it there because it's cute. Over here, I guess we can start at the top. Little wandering Jew cutting that I stuck in some soil and put on the shelf. Here's what's left of my Maranta. It got spider mites and died. And that's what's left, living in water. My elephantypes here, and it's growing up here. It's doing pretty good. It's not getting the best light. I mean, this is the best light in the room, but it's still winter. It's not the best. Over here, little snake plant, cylindrical snake plant. Here was my mystery peperomia, but now I know it's peperomia macrostaceae. A little Hindu rope plant over here. Hoya carnosa compacta, I believe. That's a friendship plant. That's a hybrid, phylohybrid. It's like a lemon lime. I just got this one. It looks so cool. Down here, this is a recently purchased Hoya. I cannot remember the name of this Hoya, but it was a rare find, and I had a hard time finding information on it. And hopefully it does well here, because it's super cool. Back here is my terrarium that I built last year, and it's just got a lot of like this and that, some creeping Charlie and some club moss, and there's like a nerve plant in there. I got a lot of different kinds of moss in there, and it's just going along. And here's some vine cuttings that I've taken. There's some heartleaf philodendron in there, and I think back there with this sad little leaf at the bottom is a golden pothos. There's some silver pothos in there. This is my yard weeds terrarium. Let me see if I can reach around here. Pull the... Yep, it's literally just yard weeds. Stuff that I thought was neat. Some clover. There's a bunch of moss in there. And I happen to love it. Down here in my fountain, the pump broke on my fountain, so I'm having to order a new one. In the meantime, I'm just going to put plants on it so they can get some light. I have a neon pothos here that I paid a ridiculous amount of money for a friggin' pothos, but I didn't have one and I wanted one. You know how it is. On the windowsill, I've got 3 Dendrobium phalaenopsis orchids that I purchased. They were in bloom. They're not blooming now, but they do have new canes. I just recently switched those over to leca. They were crammed into some sphagnum moss, and the roots didn't look very happy, so I decided to put them in leca. Thing is, I have to water them like 2-3 times a week because they are very water hungry plants, and it's really kind of a pain in my butt, so I'm going to try to figure out something different, I think. This here is my Anthurium Miss June. This is like one of my most favorite anthuriums. I love the leaves, how they're like not really heart-shaped at the top, and it's got this just beautiful purple veining. I need to clean this plant. It's got water spots. And the spathe and the spadix are purple. You get a little bit of green mottling on the edges, and just it's a beautiful shaped spathe, so Yeah, I love this plant. Oh gosh, let's see, what else? What do we have down here? Oh, I have some dollar weed that I plucked out of the yard from near my shop and put in a pot, and it's growing happily. I just repotted it today. What's back here? Oh, that's my avocado that I hard pruned. I deadheaded that, and it's supposed to help it branch, so I hope it does, because it's one of my friends, from one of my friend's trees that has just amazing avocados. So let's hope that does well. We can get that planted outside. One of my fiddle leaf figs, it's gone through several infestations of spider mites, and so when it's spider mitey, it puts out these leaves that have the red markings on them, but then they recover and they'll set out a new set of leaves that don't, and then they'll get spider mites again. So but it's growing well here, and it seems happy. Oh gosh, moving over here, we have Florida native, the blue star fern. I didn't do this one very good justice. I almost killed it, and then it just had a nice new growth spurt, so hopefully I can keep it nice and full. There's a money tree back here that I rescued from the death rack, and it is in a big apothecary jar with water and stones, and it is growing like crazy. So I thought that was a neat experiment that turned out well. Oh, this is some kind of Dracaena that, I don't know, I bought it. I don't really like it, but it's growing, so maybe when I get my garden going outside, I'll plant it outside, see if it likes it. I got a cool variegated African violet up here. It was not in bloom when I got it. It was actually pretty damaged. I got it from Walmart, and it was like on clearance for $1 or something like that. And just with some love and some light and a little bit of water, she's perked back up. Here's an orchid that I've almost killed several times. My son got as a birthday present a couple years ago from his girlfriend, and she's got a new leaf coming in. Hey, so yeah, that makes me happy. It's put out 3 new leaves in the past year, and it's recovering. Oh, we got a peperomia up here from IKEA. It's lost a little bit of its red, or quite a bit of its red, because it doesn't get a lot of light here, but it's the best I can do for it right now. A little bottle jar terrarium that I planted just regular moss in, and it's doing all kinds of cool stuff. There's a pilea there. I need to trim it down because it gets kind of leggy. There's another Maranta that was attacked by spider plants. I've got a little bit of it left outside, and I got this growing in this jar where it will live for the rest of its life. Oh, crap. Alright. Back down here, another peperomia. I'm not sure of the name of this one. It's in bloom. It seems to be very happy. I think this was like a $5 like grocery store plant. Here's my peperomia BB. I love this one. When it blooms, which it was in bloom when I bought it, and it hasn't bloomed since then, so it's been almost a year. It has like the coolest like green, it kind of smells like, I don't know, marijuana. It's got a great smell to it, so I like that. It's gotten really big. It's super pretty. And there's a little cutting of her back there. Here's another peperomia. Maybe an obtusifolia, I can't remember. There's a ZZ plant back here that keeps spitting out new leaves. That was a rescue from IKEA. I think I paid like $1.50 for it. Another rescued money tree. And I've take cuttings off of this because it's gotten real leggy. Not a lot of light here. And so I have those in the living room. And then I think this is my last plant in here. It is an Alocasia Regal Shields, and this is a new leaf. It's kind of small, but I mean, it is indoors. What can you expect? This was the last one it put out before this one. They're both kind of small. And then this was the first one it put out for me. So I've trimmed off quite a few leaves. I think this was an original leaf. It did get some sunburn because I had it too close to the window. So this is the most damaged leaf, but even still, I mean, it's a big, beautiful leaf, and I've been really impressed with how well this alocasia has grown inside my house. Anyway, thank you so much for being patient with me, and while I made this video of my dining room houseplants. And we'll go around again. And if you look, you can see out on the porch. I've got a Hoya out there, and a rubber tree, and some random cactus. I got a lot of cactus down in the front, but yeah. Alright. Have a good one.